Hi and welcome to Budget Aesthetic. Today I'll be showing you how I made this travel watercolor kit that fits inside an Altoid tin. You'll need an old metal tin like this, some tubes of watercolor paint, a couple paintbrushes, try to find one fine and one broad-tipped brush, a tiny watertight bottle like this, a sheet of watercolor paper, a pencil, and finally a sponge, although a piece of cloth or a paper towel will work too. You'll also need something to hold the paints. There are many ways to do this. I've seen people use seashells, or sculpt something out of clay. You can use anything that will create a small hole for the paint to sit in. I'm using a couple of old pill blister sheets. After cutting them down to size, I try out different arrangements until I find one that works. Next, I cut a small square out of a kitchen sponge. This will be used to clean paint off your brush when you're painting. Before I glue anything down, I like to see how I might arrange things. I'm also including a water bottle cap to hold water for wetting my brush. I use a hot glue gun to glue in the blister packs and bottle cap. Next, you're going to want to add in the paint. I'm using QOR brand liquid watercolor paints. Squirt a small amount of paint into each of the cavities. Don't worry about them drying out, water reactivates them. Make sure you're using real watercolor paints, not acrylics though. For the paper, start by measuring the lid of the Altoid tin. I cut out a few sheets from the paper, whittling them down until they fit snugly. Fill the bottle with some water. Next, I measure and cut the brushes and pencil so they'll fit inside the tin. I used garden shears for this. This is how it looks all set up. Now, time to test it. I'm painting a simple still life. I know it's a travel set, but I wanted to make sure everything worked before I took it out into the field. If you're going to make a project like this, I recommend trying things out and seeing what works for you in your process. You'll have to forgive my painting skills. It's been a while since I've painted anything substantial. One thing I noticed while painting was that the water got dirty pretty quickly. It was useful to have an extra napkin around to mop it up. If I were to do this again, I wouldn't recommend using a sponge at all. I would just use two cloths instead. One to dab your brush in, and one to mop up any extra spills. All in all, this was a fairly easy project to make, and I intend to use it outdoors very soon. I hope you got value out of this video. If you have any tips or suggestions, please let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Bye!